I would like to say a massive thank you from me and my son. For those that don't know, my son has now gone to adult services. He went about a year ago. He has severe autism, epilepsy and complex needs. Last year my son was also in a medical unit, having all of his medications looked at and all of that, and that is when epilepsy was discovered. Instead of my son going back to his residential school, as he would be due to leave when he's 19 anyway, we decided the best way forward would be for him to have something to himself. And it was you, Helen, that came up with the bespoke package tailored to his needs, which is really, really awesome, because he's loving where he is right now. He's got his own place, his own independence with round-the-clock staff. And as a parent, that really means so much to me as well, because as our children get older, we do worry more. And especially with my son and his needs, you know, you do think to yourself, you know, what will the future hold? And you have given us the happiness and independence that I've always wanted. So I can't thank you enough. I would also like to thank yourself, Jackie, Brooklyn staff, Phil and Russell, because it has been a journey with my son. He was in residential school, like I mentioned earlier, for quite some time. So, like I say, you do worry as to where they will go after the education has finished. And like I said, to have a bespoke package tailored to his needs was your doing, Helen. It was your idea, and you got the ball rolling for it.
Bethel Health and Healing Network have two projects, but the one that we've nominated is the doula service. And the doula service is essentially mostly volunteers, but we have 3 senior doulas that support women who are pregnant, whilst they're pregnant, during pregnancy and afterwards as well.
As a doula, I work in a voluntary capacity, roughly a few hours a week, but depending on our clients' needs, a bit more, not usually much less. They are very vulnerable, but often their vulnerabilities are transient. So by the time we finish seeing them, they're in a totally different position and their language skills have improved, they might have better accommodation, their immigration status might have changed as well. So they look like different women at the end.
The charity that we work for is just second to none, because the women who are the volunteers, the backbone of our organisation, they go above and beyond. I'm sure you know that most times when women go into labour, it's usually in the middle of the night for some reason. And these women leave their own homes, their own families, and they go and support these women through labour, childbirth, and obviously afterwards.
To know that those late night visits to the hospital or those extra hours breastfeeding being recognised in support of actually our community's most vulnerable people who don't usually get the opportunity to have additional support, or sometimes even basic support, would be fab. But I will do it anyway, whether we're recognised or not, because it's really great.
I think it'd be wonderful if we won the award, because it would just mean so much to the organisation, and it will help us moving forward as well.
The perspective it gives as a volunteer to see the super diverse community that we work with and the change you can make. I think there's a place for everybody at Bethel Doula Service.